guys, welcome to Gusto Reactions once again. Thank you so much for always liking and sharing, subscribing. Of course, my producer is he's a madman.
Producer, show your face.
I'm telling you, the boy is just showing himself like, you're alive. If you like, do anything you want. Anyways, today we've got Big Lala in the building. OBO Davido is also up in the building today, as well as Starboy, Wizkid, the Machala himself. There's a whole lot that has gone on between these two guys over the years, right from the days of Superstar to OBO, the Genesis. They were friends before, hanging out together and all of that, down to a lot of things happening between them, rival fans, causing a lot of, So there was the Davido versus Wizkid frog voice. All has happened in the past couple of years. I get a passport, no fit cure, frog voice, all of those things. And of course, Davido last year with Ebuka saying the competition with Wizkid, of course, he acknowledged the fact that there was a competition, or there is a competition, but that he's made him a better, artist and all of that. Fans will always tweet. And this one of the tweets that is currently making the rounds on social media at the moment. People are responding to it. Some in support of Wizkid, some in support of Davido. But we want to hear from Big Lala himself, which, of course, is in support of that. Davido is way bigger than Wizkid in the US. Almost every bar or club I've been to would play Davido song. Never heard of them playing other Wizkid songs besides Essence. How valid is this statement? I know we are in Nigeria. Yeah?
Of course. Thank you for giving me a way out. Well, Nigeria day. I don't day USA, so I wouldn't know what this guy is saying. And I think also this depends on, where this guy is. Says most everybody. But then again, we're in the USA, first of all.
Is this, yeah.
And I think this statement can be true and can be false. It depends on the interval at which you're asking the question. Right? And whoever has done the most, at several intervals.
Yeah.
At the time of one dance,
yeah,
you could argue and say yes, Wiz, had the higher standing in the US. As at the time of four, you can argue and say
was Davido.
It was. The period four was dominating.
Yeah.
Davido was king of the US at that period, right? And then you could also say, as at the time of Essence right now, there's nobody touching a Wizkid.
Of course, with Justin Bieber on that
exactly,
one.
And they,
number one on US urban radio, first Nigerian song ever.
And they said the song is song of the
summer.
Song of the summer. Well, I don't know what that guy is saying. You can't. It's like people that do surveys. People do surveys, right? And then they come and say things like 70% of Nigerians are unwise. But they did that survey and they took only 1,000 people. So they use collection of 1,000 people to now generalize and say
the whole of Nigeria.
The whole of Nigeria are unwise. 70% of people in Nigeria are unwise. Nigeria has over 200 million people. USA is a very, very big country. Where did this happen? Obviously, the same way as with politics works. Some persons are stronger in some states than the other. David, Wiz, yes, there'll be. Obviously in Atlanta, you can say Davido can be a stronger
artist
than a Wizkid because he even got what's it called, honored by the football team there and things like that. So there's no yardstick for me to actually judge it, but the little that is available, I can say that in several intervals. Yes, you could argue yes or no for either of them, but as at this moment, it will make sense to me to say David is bigger than Wiz in the US at the moment.
Would it make sense to say Wiz is bigger?
Yes, it would make sense because there will be facts to back it up. One, there's number one most Shazam song in the US.
Okay.
Two, there will be song of the summer, which is doing great on the Billboard for over 8 weeks or 10 weeks or thereabouts. Right?
Number one hip hop radio.
Number one at hip hop radio. Made in Lagos, doing wonders in the biggest markets. Yeah. Justin Bieber jumping on a Wiz record. Da Baby. Raekwon.
Yeah.
Who else? Rihanna and them, the likes who have jumped, all the American stars who have jumped.
But the thing is, when you look at all of these things, does it mean that with Wizkid's success at the moment and everything makes them forget? does it override a popularity of of a Davido, for example? Does a Wizkid success does it make him more popular than a Davido? Does it make him, because if we're to look at it, we're looking at it like, okay, Wizkid is currently the hottest guy out of the both of them right now in the US. But does it make people forget who Davido is?
No, of course not. You can't make them forget who Davido is.
Because we're not talking hottest right now. We're talking who is more popular.
Yeah, you can't make them who forget who David is or who Bonner is. I mean, when people say, "Oh, do you listen to Afrobeats?" to anybody in the US, if they say yes, anyone who says yes knows these three.
Yeah.
That means to an extent they are popular.
Yeah, yeah.
But then there's now the extra added popularity that Essence has given Wiz. That cannot be matched by anybody else at the moment. Because it's a lot to take in. The success, I mean, the amount of impressions he's been able to gather off Made in Lagos and Essence has not been done by anybody else. He hasn't. So it would be futile to argue and say, oh, David right now is more popular. But like I said in at several intervals, you could have argued, oh, David was bigger. I mean, was more popular than Wiz. At some another interval, you can argue that yes, Wiz, because while Wiz was hanging out with Drake and doing things Afrobeats with the world, his popularity shot up in the US now. His popularity shot up in the US. But let's not forget the fact that some of these things, before it even gets to the US, in UK is always at the forefront who are always pushing the agenda. They enjoy Afrobeats more in the UK than in the US.
But overall, when you look at what David has achieved with with Fall as well, Fall being one of the most streamed, Afrobeat song on YouTube, video on YouTube at the moment, and you look at a couple of things that Davido has achieved as well, the RIAA, gold certification for Fall, Eve also getting a gold certification as well. I mean, a lot of plaques, a lot of awards for Davido. Yes, we can say, oh, those were in the past. He did that even before the Essence wave at the moment and everything. But overall, in terms of popularity, Davido is an indigene, is a citizen of the US. Wizkid is citizen of Nigeria. But in the same US, overall popularity, who would be your pick?
No, see, it's like I said, there's no set yardstick to determine this. The only reasonable answer I would have given is at several intervals, but and at a different interval, which is right now, there's no touching Wiz, and that's fact. As at If and Fall era, there was no touching Davido, that's fact, right? At Bonner's era of Ye and Co, I mean, he was doing his own bit as well. So to me now, to consider this whole thing, if I was to consider, right, this is like Wiz's second or third wave
of popularity,
of being popular in the US. One Dance with Drake, Beyonce's Bounce King Girl, and now with Essence by himself. So that means he had 3 waves of popularity, of his popularity shooting up.
Not even with the Shazam thing right now.
Exactly. So it shows a level. The Shazam thing, David hasn't done that before. Even though maybe as at then Shazam was not as popular, but it was still there. The other things that like the success of Essence on the Billboard, for example, how many people don't do that one? That shows a lot. That means he's selling out a lot. With Essence is on record to hasn't even hit gold faster than any other Nigerian song in the US. That shows a lot of popularity. It didn't take him a social amount of years, so we can't even argue with it. I think with those few points as well, and then the fact that this is like his third wave of being popular in the US. I don't think there's any touching him.
Do you think this person quite wrong?
Yeah, this is like I said, it's a myopic way of looking at it. He could have. I mean, this survey was not well. He entered a few bars in a certain area in the US, and he concluded, which is not the way to go. If you wanted to be more comprehensive, do your research. I mean, with some of these that I've just pointed out, I mean, everybody would want to agree that right now, Wiz is certainly more popular than any of these other guys.
Okay, guys, let's have your thoughts on that one without further ado. Thank you so much for always liking. Let's hear your thoughts exactly in the US, the Supremacy battle, Wizkid, Davido. Who exactly do you think is more popular in the US? This tweets, a couple of tweets from Davido fans said, "Oh, more Davido is more popular. Forget what Essence is doing right now." But I want to hear from you. What do you think, Davido, Wizkid, or even a Burna Boy? Who exactly do you think is getting a hop on in terms of popularity in the United States of America. Yes, put your comment down below. We'll see you on the next live. Peace.